and welcome to the Healing Waters broadcast. I am so happy that you all have joined me today. And I am your host, Marie Kennedy Groves. You can call me Coach Marie Kennedy Groves. I am a life coach. I am a single mom of two amazing kids that I adopted from Guatemala that are now, I like to say, grown. So I have kind of gone from the single mom role to what I like to call now as that I'm kind of their cheerleader and their coach. So let me just let you know though, I now kind of yin and yang between the cheerleader, and I really kind of only coach if they ask for my opinion. Because as a young adult, if we all stop to remember, we really, at that point, think that we have the world by the tail and that our parents know absolutely nothing. I'm just keeping it real. So one thing that you will always find with me is we just like to have conversation on the Healing Waters broadcast. I don't like scripted. I like to just have a real conversation with you. And so today is our last broadcast for this spring season. And we take a few months off, and we will be back in September to bring you more amazing content, more real life, to talk about real life issues and things that we're all dealing with. Because quite honestly, isn't that what we all are interested in, is how to get through this thing called life and to thrive our way through it? So I sincerely hope that you have enjoyed the content that has been put out over the past few months since the first of the year. I know I have enjoyed my time with you so much. I've enjoyed all the people that I've been able to interview and have chit chats with. As you know, I target very heavily. My message is to women. And so today, it is absolutely no different. Today, I am wanting to talk to all of those amazing women out there who find themselves coming into summer single. So I have a huge heart for this because I have been divorced now for, at least 9 years. It may actually be longer. I would have to go back and think about that. But anyway, so I know how different seasons of the year can really, what's the word I'm looking, trigger. That's a good word. It can trigger you at different times. We've talked, if you've listened to past broadcasts, we have talked about how social media can trigger you. And it's not just when you're single, it can be any relationship status in life. Certain things can trigger you. But I think from the single status, which we're going to focus on today, there can be a lot of triggers. A lot of times coming into summer, loneliness can trigger very heavily for a single person because they see the families going on vacation. They see the couples that are, this seems to be a big season for marriages, engagements. I know in springtime seems to be a big time for engagements, but summer can be too. So you're watching all of this with possibly your friends, with people you know on social media. Maybe you're going to the beach and, you see all the wedding stuff set up and people are getting married on the beach and la, 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 la. And you're just like, when is it going to be my time? And I really want want to talk to you about loneliness today. So I've titled this broadcast, Dear Single Sis. And I want to speak to you from the heart today. So have you ever found yourself thinking, or maybe you've even said it out loud to your friends, I just want someone. I just want someone to do stuff with. I just want someone. No, you don't. No, you don't. Can I please challenge you to rephrase that? You don't just want someone. You want the right someone who you can co-create an amazing life with. You know, who respects you, who treats you like the queen that you are. You don't just want someone. Don't even speak those words into existence, because you will get what you speak. Words are very powerful. And I'm just going to say this. If you're sitting in a relationship right now that is less than desirable, I want you to think back on the words you spoke prior to coming up to that relationship. Because if you're just saying, and you're thinking and constantly speaking, I just want someone. Oh, I just want someone to be with me. Okay. The universe, God, whatever you want to call it, is going to offer up to you what you ask for. And they're going to drop a someone. And you're in this mode that you're just looking for someone to be with, and you will attach yourself on to whoever comes along because, oh, this must be the someone that I'm looking for. And then you find yourself in a very less than desirable relationship, and you're unhappy, and you're like, well, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And it gets a little crazy. And then you're trying to figure out your way out of that relationship. So be very specific, my dear single sis, on the words you speak. You be very specific on who you want. I have often said, and I have changed my words, okay? Because going through a divorce, I've actually been through 2 divorces. Just keeping it real. Going through a divorce, being a single mom where I was literally a single mom 24/7, 365. No breaks, okay? I had a very bad taste in my mouth for the male species. Let's just be honest. So I have said, and I would think, I don't need a man. I can do this on my own. Well, guess what? I was doing it on my own. And no man was showing up. And you know what? I realized, oh, hello, Marie. You're getting exactly what you put, the energy you put out into the universe, you are getting it. You said you didn't need a man. No man showing up. And because you don't need one, remember? You spoke that. So I had to retract those words and say, you know what? Yes, I am a very powerful woman. I'm a confident woman. Yes, I can do life, and I can be extremely happy on my own. And I am. I love my life. Love my life. But I would love if the right man would come into my life, and I understand that he's going to need to bring a lot to the table to match my energy, to match what I'm creating in life. but I know that there's a bazillion of them out there. I'm just looking for the right match for me. So yes, I want the right man that's going to treat me like a queen, that's going to see my value, that's going to come alongside of me, and that we can co-create together all kinds of beautiful things. So you see, I tried to give you an example of how I had to retract and rephrase some of my words. So what I would like to say is all these things. So once you decide and you say the kind of man that you want, just that you don't want just someone, you want the right man that's going to treat you right, that's going to think that you are amazing. You're going to be their cup of tea. Whatever cup of tea you are, you're going to be their cup of tea. Okay? But let me ask you this. What are you attracting to you in them? I mean, like, what are you? Who are you? Do you love yourself? Do you treat yourself like a queen? Do you think that you're amazing? Or are you constantly looking in the mirror and picking yourself apart? Are you constantly putting yourself down? Oh, I can't believe how stupid I am. Oh my gosh, I just can't believe I did that. There's so many things that we are guilty of doing. Do you curl up on the couch and all you think about is how lonely you are and how much you wish that you had someone that could be there with you, instead of going out and creating this amazing life right where you're at today? Let me tell you something. We're going to talk about, after the commercial break, we are going to talk about how to date yourself, how to enjoy right now. Because if you can be happy right now, single, and living the most amazing life single, you will attract a whole nother caliber of man. And if a man coming into your life, they should be able to come in and treat you better than you even treat yourself. And we're going to talk about that. So we're going to go to a commercial break here real quick. We always like to encourage you to hit the donate button. Donate any amount of money to WYTV7. It keeps broadcasts like this on the air. And we are thrilled that you are here to join us in this conversation today. So we will be right back.
You're invited to the Smart Strategies for a Slim Body Masterclass hosted by Integrative Healing Arts and Simply Fit. Throughout the demonstrated masterclass, you'll learn healthy habits that will slim you down, like making time for exercise and finding a quiet place for meditating. Throughout the masterclass, you'll learn about acupuncture and sleep, as well as balanced meals and responsible snacking. For more information about the May 21st masterclass, just click the registration link that you see on the screen.
And we are back. Thank you so much for joining me back again to discuss the topic of Dear Single Sis. So we were talking right before the commercial break about if you don't treat yourself well, okay? If you don't treat yourself well, then you are going to accept any man that comes along that treats you any kind of way. Because even if he's kind of it's going to be better than how you treat yourself. So you're going to be like, oh, isn't he sweet? No, you deserve so much more than that. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about, I know there's big craze right now going on about loving yourself and, oh, you got to, but let me tell you something. You have to learn to love yourself. You've got to stop talking badly about yourself in your head. You talk to yourself worse than you would ever talk to one of your friends. You would never say to one of your friends the things you tell yourself in your head about yourself. And we've got to stop that because that's awful. What happens, and how do I know this? It used to be me. What happens is when we have a bad dialogue going on in our head about us, that man that comes into your life, that someone that comes into your life, could be narcissistic, could be an abuser. They're only, when they start talking derogatory to you, or they start abusing you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, the reason women don't leave those situations is because those men are just confirming what they have been telling themselves in their head about themselves for years. So when the men say that to them, or when they are talk abusively to them or physically abuse them, it doesn't send alarms off in their head of, who do you think you are? No, what it does is the women are going, yeah, well, I know I'm a piece of crap. I don't know. I always knew something was wrong with me. Oh my gosh, I just can never be good enough. Oh my gosh. Sissy, stop it. You've got to change the dialogue in your head. You have got to treat yourself so good that if a man comes into your life and doesn't speak kinder to you than you're already speaking to yourself, doesn't treat you better than you're already treating yourself, that you can look at him and be like, I got all this going on for me already. If you can't bring any extra to the table, I can do all that for myself. And you can sit here and hear this and go, oh, that's sassy. She thinks she's all that. No, you better think you're all of that. You better think you're worthy of that. So that is something that I have been working on myself for years. Getting to that point where I can truly respect me for who I am. So let me tell you a little story. I always like to add personal stories into my broadcast just because I feel like you can relate better when we put it in story form. So I met a friend of mine at a wine bar several months ago. And after work one night, so we're sitting up at the bar having a glass of wine together, and we're talking about life, and we get on the subject of relationships. And she was kind of telling me that she's lonely, and she said, I'm at the point in my life where I just really would love to attract the right person and have a family. And so, she's going down through all these things that she would love to have. And none of it is wrong. None of it is wrong. So in the course of our conversation, the owner comes out. And he starts chit-chatting with us. And, we're talking. I think she knew him anyway. So we're just talking. He's married and I think has 3 kids, 2 or 3 kids, and they're younger. But in the course of conversation, he's talking about how, managing the restaurant, wine bar, whatever, he doesn't get out of there till late by the time they get cleaned up and everything. And so he's not getting home until like 2:00 in the morning. And then he says, I get home and I want to unwind. So then he said, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to have a few drinks. And so he said, by the time I've had a few drinks and I've unwound and I'm ready to go to bed, it's about time, my wife is getting up to get the kids up and get them ready for school. And so basically his wife is raising the kids on her own. And then by the time the kids are getting out of school, he's headed back over to the restaurant again. And it's, the vicious cycle that we just keep doing it over and over again. And so he shares this story with us. And we finish our wine and then we get up to leave. And I looked at her as we were leaving out the door. And I said, you may not be happy with your single status right now, but you could be married to that. I'm not stuck. I'm letting that sink in for a minute. My mom has always told me one thing worse than being unhappily single is being unhappily married. Let me tell you something. We both looked at each other after I said that, and we started laughing. And we both said, hell to the no. Our lives are amazing, and we don't have to deal with that. We're not sitting home, married, raising kids by ourselves, and he's never there to help or to participate. So it was kind of a reality check. And I just share that story to kind of give you, my dear single sis that is listening, that same reality check of, oh, wow. Yeah, that's not what I want. You know what? I'm good. I'll wait on the right one that is going to be willing to co-create a beautiful life with me. I don't want to be married just to be able to check the box and say, I'm married. I don't want that. And I pray to God that you don't want that either. If you're just wanting to check a box or you think the status is better, if you're married, you are getting into that relationship for all the wrong reasons. So let me just tell you about dating yourself. Let's talk about dating yourself prior to ever finding this right someone, okay? So when you start working on loving yourself, you're going to start treating yourself a whole lot better. You're going to start watching the words you say to yourself. You're going to, I call it gassing yourself up. But if I'm having a low vibrational day, and I'm kind of feeling about myself, and maybe I'm teeter-tottering on that line of feeling lonely and, kind of wishing that I had the right man. But, let me tell you something. I will go stand in the mirror. And whether I believe it in my mind or not, I'm going to look in the mirror and I'm going to say, Marie, you are a rock star. Girl, you got it going on. You are a catch. The person that sees the value in you and decides to bring to the table to match your energy and to match what you've got going on, man, they are fixing to have the most, you like the fixin', that's the Southern. They are fixing to have the most amazing life and the most amazing experience that they've ever had. Girl, you're a rock star. You are a rock star. Now go out there and show the world that you are a force to be reckoned with. I don't know what words gas you up, but those words gas me up. Then I'll go turn on some chick rock music and rock myself out to that. But let me tell you what I have recently started doing. So I used to hate going out to eat by myself because, I don't know, people look at you weird. Like, what's wrong with her? Or at least I felt like they were looking at me going, what's wrong with her? Why is she by herself? Well, that has all changed for me because I respect myself so much for what I've been through, for what I've not only survived, but boy, am I thriving. I am thriving. And I have set goals. I've accomplished so much. I have so many more goals I want to accomplish. I love my life. I cannot even tell you how much I love my life. So the other night I told my kids, I said, guys, I'm not going to be around tonight. I'm going on a date. Well, of course they said, Mom, who are you going on a date with? So I said, me, myself, and I. And they were like, Mom, of course you are. And I said, yeah, I am. So I got all dressed up. I put on some lipstick. I went to my favorite restaurant. I ordered an amazing bottle of wine. I ordered my favorite dish. And when I tell you, I was sitting there just thriving. And you know what I did? As I sat there and I drank my wine, I looked around the restaurant and I was having a conversation with myself in my head. And this is what my conversation consisted of. Marie, I am so proud of you. I am so proud of how far you've come. I'm so proud of what you've come through. I'm so proud that you have built this amazing life that you love. And that the right someone that is going to find you and join you is just going to be icing on an already amazing cake that you have created. And I literally sat there and that was the only thoughts I would allow myself to think the entire evening. And when I tell you, when I left that restaurant, I was so full, not just of food, I was full of food, but I was so full spiritually and emotionally of just celebrating me, celebrating the goals I had accomplished. I was so excited about life. I was so excited about being me. I was so excited about thriving the rest of this year. And I want you to experience that too. So today we bring this broadcast to a close, challenging you, encouraging you, giving you hope. Dear single sis, this is your time to embrace the space where you are at and learn to love the space you're in. Because when you love the space you're in, you're going to attract some phenomenal, amazing things into your life. So I cannot wait for you to join me back in September and for me to tell you what has happened to me over the summer, because I'm expecting amazing, stupendous, exciting things to happen in my life, because quite honestly, they happen every day and I embrace them and I love them. And I can't wait to see from one day to the next what God is going to do in my life, who he's going to bring into my life, what kind of fun we're going to have, because I'm having a blast being me. So anything more than this is going to be off the chain. So I'm going to ask you to join me in this space. And I can't wait to hear from you. So if you would like to connect with me, you can reach me through email at mariegroves@healingwaters.info. Reach out to me. I would love to chat with you. If you are looking for some life coaching around this subject of being single and how to love yourself and how to get into that space where you're literally loving and respecting yourself, please reach out to me, because I would love to help coach you there. I love you guys. This has been an amazing few months that I have spent with you, and I cannot wait to join you back in September. See you later.